Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Rusty Beauties Restorations, and today we're gonna be again on the 94 Jeep YJ as in the last I don't know how many videos, a lot. And as I promised in the last video, we're gonna start working on the front brakes now. In the last video we cleaned up all these parts and we painted them for the front suspension. Today is Tuesday, so tonight and tomorrow we're gonna be working on the brakes, the front brakes. Hopefully we're gonna be able to complete them before the day after tomorrow, which is Thursday. And on Thursday we are expecting Mr. Cheftush again to visit us and help us with the front suspension. We're gonna be assembling it, so I'd like to hurry up and finish the brakes and everything else before he comes. So on Thursday, maybe take the Jeep for a drive. We shall see. Okay, in the last video we were able to take out this front brake line, which goes from the master cylinder or from the pressure differential unit to the right wheel, and we were able to take it out in one piece, which is great because it means that eventually we're going to be able to put it back in one piece. I was going to put a union somewhere there, but if I can avoid it, I'd rather put it back in one piece because I don't have a stainless steel union. I have a steel union and I don't want to put it because the whole entire brake system is going to be out of stainless, and if we can keep it that way, that would be great. So that's the one brake line, and the other one is here. This is pretty short, supposedly easy one that we're gonna do for the front left wheel. So we should pull out again the tools from Eugene's box and start flaring again. Okay, I have two pieces of stainless steel tubing here. One is 25 feet that I haven't touched yet, and this, I don't know how long that is, but I'm hoping that this is gonna be enough for this line here. To make sure though, because there's so many curves, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of string here, or cord, or wire, or whatever you can find, guys, but for me it's gonna be cord, and I'm just gonna follow all these curves. So here I cut it right next to the fitting, so we're gonna leave a little bit more, and we're gonna go like that, and we're gonna follow the entire line, and we will see how long the line is. A little bit more, and that's it. That's the length of our line, which I had something to mark it with, but I don't, so I'm gonna just tie a knot here. So now let's straighten this and see if it is gonna be long enough. Oh yeah, that's a lot of line actually. Oh, I didn't expect. Here, we're gonna leave it a little bit longer. We're gonna start measuring from here, and we're gonna go this way. What's gonna finish first, the string or the line? Yes, so this is more than enough. I'm not even gonna cut it yet. If it was like 3-4 feet longer than what I needed, I was gonna cut it, but now in this case I don't even need to cut it. I'm gonna just start bending it. And you know what? I'm gonna put you on time-lapse mode, and I'm gonna play some annoying music for you. Alright, that's enough annoying music. So I just came up with this idea to tape them together. Most probably I just discovered the wheel or the hot water maybe. But I don't know, maybe somebody else did it before, but I just thought of it myself. It is actually much easier. When you start, you tape them together and they just stay together, and this way you can follow all the bends and everything. Here I need to bend it a little bit more, I guess. But anyways, we are pretty close. So this last curve I'm not gonna make. I'm just gonna calculate exactly how long I need here for the fitting, and I'm gonna cut it. And here as well, we need to make that curve, but you know, if we bend it now, it's not gonna fit in the tool, in the flaring tool. So that's why we're gonna keep it straight. We're gonna cut it where it needs to be. We're gonna put a fitting. We're not gonna forget about the fitting, and then we're gonna flare it. All right, so that's how it goes on the pressure differential unit. Again, I forgot the name of this. Like in the British cars, we call it pressure differential unit, so that's what I'm gonna call it, even though somebody corrected me and said that it has a different name. It is exactly that. It is a pressure differential unit, because basically what it does, so this is the front circuits, the input, the two outputs, and this is the rear circuit from the master cylinder going down to the unit, and from here it goes down to the two rear wheels. And what it has is a little piston here right in the middle that needs to stay in the middle, and this connects these two terminals and closes an electrical circuit. If one of the two circuits is low on pressure, the pressure on, let's say this one is low on pressure, when you press the brake pedal, this circuit is going to have pressure. There's not going to be pressure here, so this pressure is going to push the piston this way, and the piston is going to move out of the switch here, and it's going to break the circuit, and that's going to give me a light on the dash telling me that something is wrong with one of my circuits, front or rear, because it works both ways, goes this way or that way. So it is pressure differential unit. Anyways, doesn't matter the name. So that's how it goes, and right underneath, like we said, is the other front wheel, and these are both 3/8 fittings, and these are the standard ones that we have here. So for both our lines, we need 3/8 fitting here, where it goes to the pressure differential unit, and on the other side is where they go to this to the flexible hoses, and this is also 3/8. So we need 3/8 for all four flares on the front brakes. Okay, can do it one-handed here, but that's it. And then we're left here with one more of the 1/2-inch fittings. They're all for 3/16 tubing, but this one is with 1/2-inch thread. This is with 7/16 thread, right? 7/16, yes. So we already used one of the 1/2-inch threads for this line that connects here. That's the output for the rear brakes. I believe that this other one is going to fit here, and I believe this is 7/16. I believe this is 1/2-inch too, and this is 7/16. So one 7/16 is going to come here, one 7/16 is going to come here, and only for here we don't have a fitting. It's a shame. It's a real shame. But anyways, we're gonna have to reuse either this one or this one. We will see which one is better, and we're gonna clean it up and we're gonna reuse it, and we're only gonna have one fitting in the entire brake system that is not stainless. So these two are done. This time we didn't have any hiccups. We didn't forget any fittings. We did the right flare. All the curves were pretty easy to make, so I'm happy. That took like half an hour to make these two brake lines, and I'm really happy with the result. Now let's see how easy it is gonna be to mount them on the car. thing put up a fight, but I'm happy with the results. So the 3 lines here, this is the rear line that goes down there, makes the curve, and I showed you the other day how it goes to the back. And then the front right, I think this is, I don't know, this is one of the fronts and this is the other front. Yeah, this is the front right, and they go down there and they clip into this right here. Well, I still have to bend it a little bit to match this curve, but even as it is, it's not too bad. And then they go that way. The one for the left wheel comes to the flexible line, and then the flexible line is gonna go here later. We're gonna replace the old one. The old one is still here. And that's how it is. The other one goes there along the engine mount into this clip, and then comes out. Here we have one of these pieces with more clips on it. I removed them now because to paint it, but then one of the pieces goes underneath with 2 clips, and then the other one goes on top to cover it. So that's why there are 2 pieces there, and then it goes in, and here it's easy. I haven't done the other flexible line yet, but it goes right there and then into the wheel. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy how they turned. Nothing is tight. I'm gonna tighten them later. For now I just want to be able to remove them and bend them a little bit if I have to. And the last ones are these little 2 guys here that I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm excited, I like it. Now the rest of the engine bay is not in a perfect shape, but hey, at least one thing is gonna be nice and shiny. I took this cover off because it was really rusted, and I started cleaning it. Where did I put it? And I started cleaning it, but actually it is late and I don't want to make too much noise because some of the kids are already sleeping. So we're gonna leave it for tomorrow and we're gonna call it a night. So it was a long day today because I also finished my previous video today and I started this one. So it was a long day, but I'm really happy with the results. So I'll see you tomorrow again, guys. One little guy is ready here, and it turns out that these are the worst to be made because so many angles, and they're so short and there's not much room here, so I have to put the fitting and flare it and then bend it, but it's really hard to calculate everything, but it is in. It's not tight, but it's finger tight, but it is in. So there's one more to be done and that's it. I also rearranged these a little bit here. I don't really like them how they are. This bracket needs to be mounted somewhere. Like, oh, there's a hole here. Okay, that's gonna work then. Fine. I couldn't find that hole before, but now with your light I was able to. And once everything is fastened everywhere and tight, I'm gonna rebend these a little bit. I don't want them to be touching. They don't touch right now, but we will see. Anyways, making progress here. It's really hard with these little ones. The cover for the reservoir is primed, so soon I'm gonna paint it. I'm just gonna paint it black. I don't have any other colors. I was getting excited on bleeding the brakes, and then I realized that I don't have brake fluid, so I need to go get some. All right, both of these are done. I saved you the hassle because it was pretty tricky. Well, the second one was a little bit easier because I already knew where I will get trapped, where I can have troubles, but anyways, it's done. So this is the fitting, the 1/2-inch fitting that is not stainless. That's the old one that I cleaned up and reused. But here everything else is completed. That bracket down there is fastened, and I'm pretty happy with how they are arranged here. The two front ones go there. This one I have to press down a little, even though the steering column now is dropped down because it is the box is down. It's gonna be a little bit higher, so it's not gonna touch the lines, but still I might want to bend this one a little bit down. And then here, I don't know why there isn't a clip somewhere here, because I repaired the frame here, I guess. So we should find a way to secure this down, and then it goes into this flexible hose, which is still hanging here. We have to now install it here and here. These are pretty long. I guess they're for off-roading, for lifts, so we have to also find a way to hold these somehow, because we don't want them to touch the wheel, right? So that's pretty long. Wow. And once this is done, we have to install again the rear ones, because I removed them when I was painting the rear axle. So you see, guys, how much more labor it created for me. And then we have to go wheel by wheel and tighten them, because everything is just finger tight right now. And once everything is tight, we're gonna fill this guy with brake fluid, which I still have to go and get. And hopefully by the end of the day today, we're gonna have brakes. That's great. All right, all these now are tight. In Eugene's box, there are these fantastic brake line wrenches that are really solid and easy to use. I had some before that were so wonky, they were bending and skipping, even so I basically threw them in the garbage. But these ones are fantastic. So anyway, all these are tight now, and I installed the front brake lines already. Took the old ones out and installed the new ones with new crash washers here. And I also removed the bleeders, both sides, and made sure that they coming out. Clean them up, of course, and the other side as well. Everything is nice and tight here. So the next is, like I said, we have to go to the back and assemble this. But before I go there, I'm actually gonna go to the store and get some brake fluid, because it is, I don't know, like 3 p.m. and a little bit later people are gonna start coming home from work, and I don't want to get into traffic. So let me run to the store and I'll be back. Right, so the rear lines are installed now again. I showed them to you before, but I had to remove them because I painted the axle. You see how I painted? I painted from underneath, not from the above, so I'm sorry, guys. Better than what I was planning to anyways. So this line is installed, and this line is installed. I tightened the fittings over there. This is the breather for the differential, which I still have to put a clamp on. And then there's another connection somewhere here behind that I also tightened. That's where the stainless steel line goes into the flexible hose. All the bleeders are closed, so we can fill up the system with brake fluid and start bleeding. All right, so I was waiting for my kids to come because they wanted to help me with the brake bleeding, even though we're gonna use the vacuum pump, so we don't need a helper for this way. But they wanted to watch, so I was waiting for them. They were helping for dinner, and I did some other things in the meantime. I attached the steering box, and I removed the track bar from there, and I cleaned a little bit the axle, and that's everything I'm gonna do about it. Nothing else, guys. I'm sorry. So now we are ready to start the actual bleeding. I also gave them a little bit of explanation here. We drew a schematic of a master cylinder with the pressure differential unit, with the wheels, and how everything was coming, and how the fluid was coming, and there was air on top, and then you remove the bleeder and that gets rid of the air. So I gave them this entire lecture here, and now they're gonna just sit and watch me while I'm doing the whole work myself. But unfortunately, there's nothing for them to help with. Anyway, so these are just 2 of the 4. Well, like I said, all the bleeders are closed now. I'm gonna fill up the master cylinder. And of course we're gonna start with the rear right wheel because that's the one which is the furthest. So by bleeding that, we're gonna bleed basically probably 1/3 of the system. Again, Eugene's wrench, 5/16 for the rear bleeders, 3/8 for the front bleeders. This is a perfect wrench for a Jeep. As I explained to my kids, there are 3 ways of bleeding it. One is gravity, where you just open the bleeders and wait for the fluid to come. The other way is where somebody is pumping on the pedal and you have to keep opening and closing the bleeder here and getting rid of the air. And the third way is with the vacuum pump, where you open the bleeder and you just suck. So let's see, now all the lines are empty. This means that it's gonna take a lot of fluid until we get rid of all the air. This means that we have to keep an eye on the master cylinder so we don't run it dry. So let's see how this is gonna go. Nick, can you keep an eye on the master cylinder and tell me if the level is going down?
I don't know where it was before, but it's lower than the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna start sucking now and tell me if it goes down. Going down?
Yeah.
Okay, just keep an eye and tell me before it dries out.
It's like halfway.
Okay.
It's very low now. It's like,
Okay. Good thing I have a helper to tell me. Okay. Okay. We topped it up, so. Okay, we just moved to the rear left wheel. Supposedly the rear right is bled, but I'm not really sure because on the hose you always see not only fluid but also air. But that's because when you open the bleeder, it sucks not only the air from inside and the liquid from inside, but around the bleeder a little bit it sucks too. So you can't really tell if it is air coming from outside or from the system. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bleed the other ones with the vacuum as well, and then we're gonna do one round with the traditional way where somebody is gonna push on the pedal and somebody else is gonna open the bleeder and stuff like that. Okay, noise alert. Okay, we're going to the front right now
that one was so much faster than the other one.
because tell me why.
Yeah, because they go through the same line.
So we are back on the rear right wheel. We've done all 4 wheels with the vacuum pump, but just because of the way the bleeder is, you know, when you loosen it, then fluid from inside and air from inside the system can escape, but you can also, around the threads, if you're sucking from here, you can suck also air from outside. You don't know what air is coming in. So there was a little bit of air in each wheel in the tube when I was bleeding each wheel. So just to make sure that it was air only from outside, not from inside, we're gonna do one round now, old school way, where somebody's gonna sit in the car, in this case my son Nick. I'm gonna have the bleeder closed. He's gonna pump on the pedal a few times, on the brake pedal, and then when I tell him, he's gonna hold it down. So he's gonna press it and keep pressing on it. Then I'm gonna open the bleeder a little bit, and because there's gonna be pressure in the system, everything is gonna try to escape, and the bleeder is the highest point, so the air is gonna escape, and he's gonna feel inside that the pedal is gonna go down. So when it reaches down, I'm gonna close the bleeder, and then he can pump again. You ready, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, pump 3 times, and let me know when it's down.
I just got them on.
Okay, pump. Down. Okay. Okay, we went around and we did the old school way and we bled all of them again, but it turned out that the vacuum pump did all the work. There was no air in any of them. So that's it. Now we have brakes. Let me show you the pedal. Now it's hard as a rock. So yeah, we have brakes. We have brakes. And I don't see any leaks anywhere. Here we had a mess at some point when Nick was pumping. Here it started like literally spilling all over, so I had to come and wash everything with brake clean, so to make sure there are no leaks. But now I don't see anything. So anyways, we're gonna leave it like this till tomorrow, and if there's anything, we're gonna see on the floor. This is from where we spilled from the reservoir. This is from bleeding, but we will see tomorrow. Oh, don't leave the wrench here. So we will see tomorrow if there's any leaks anywhere. It's gonna show. Yeah, so all's good. So that's gonna be everything. Thanks. Okay guys, so that's gonna be everything for today from the Rusty Beauty's garage and from my awesome crew.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing.
Bye.